But she really rampaged against Alcantara and Sabra, and she's the top scorer in the history of the She Believes Cup. She scored 6 in the World Cup finals. All that gets her the nod. As we've heard, Hemp plays her first game in England's starting lineup. It's the USA who start us off, all in blue, kicking from left to right, and immediately they look for the hugely dangerous Crystal Dunn, who was in the team of the tournament in the World Cup finals in France. In fact, virtually half of that best 11 playing tonight. England represented by Ellen White and Jill Scott. That's run out of play by Lauren Hemp off a deflection. She claims the throw and it goes England's way, and Alex Greenwood will take it. You're looking also an important night for Georgia Stanway. So it's her first start since September. Injuries really have prevented Phil from naming his strongest side since France 19, but he is looking to blood new players, and you can expect the young Everton forward Chloe Kelly to make her debut from the bench as well. Yeah,
well, I think he spoke about it, didn't he, beforehand, that he's got a really nice blend of youth and experience, and I think it's important in tournaments like this to give players game time moving forward, looking at the Olympics, looking at the Euros, and yeah, I'm really excited to see them and see them compete against some of the best teams in the world, or the best team in the world, which is the US.
And am I wrong in saying they seem to get better and better and physically stronger and stronger?
No, you're not at all. They certainly do. And I think that was one of the reasons that Phil Neville was desperate to get Dawn Scott back, because I think that was the difference in the semi-final, the physicality of the US to England. I think technically and tactically we're right up there, but physically we just weren't the same.
Sue Smith agreeing with me. Blink and you'd have missed it. And here's Dalkamper and Sabran, very much the authoritative back two. It's Sabran's 10th start, or 11th start now, in a run of 13. Dalkamper's missed just 2 this season. There's Greenwood, 4th start this year, did play in the victory against the Czechs. The side of the pitch now being attacked. Kira Walsh comes across against the run of Tobin Heath. Did well enough there, Kira Walsh. Started all 6 games for England. Part of the future, definitely. Answered awkwardly there. Over the head of young Stanway.
That's exactly what the US will do to you, though. They press you so quickly, and in numbers. It's not individually, it's they go collectively, try and win the ball back as high up the field as they possibly can.
It's Phil Neville. We just got a little shot there as well of Vlatko Andonovski, the new coach of the US team, took over from Jill Ellis. It's Tobin Heath with this free kick then. Not sure why that was given, to be honest, Sue.
I'm not.
Pass me by that one. Terrific form, Tobin Heath again this year, after a bit of a muscle injury. Here comes that free kick. He's been undone by set pieces in this competition last year by the US. Flashing crossing to the arms of Carly Telford. Chosen again ahead of Ellie Roebuck, who hasn't actually been able to train fully this week. Carly Telford plays her 4th game of this season and 25th for her country. 4th She Believes tournament. The Americans haven't missed a tournament. This is the 5th year of it. Carly Lloyd's played in every game and has been in this competition, which gets better and better every year. More and more goals are scored in it. There's Julie Ertz. Lloyd on the edge of the penalty and looking to poach. Got there and put it wide.
Great play from the US there, so direct. When they get the ball, the first thought is forward. Lovely ball through, and straight away, quick turn, and this is clever from Carly Lloyd. Just gets the touch. I think Carly Telford does enough. she comes out quickly off the line, which we know she's great at, just narrows that angle down, and Carly Lloyd can't quite lift it over the top of her.
122 goals for her country. She gets better and better, you know, Carly Lloyd. She scored 36 goals up to the age of 30. She's at 86 in her 30s. Heading to another Olympics. Gets stronger and stronger. It's tucked away there by Becky Sabran, the Utah Royals player. It's her third World Cup in the summer. An Arsenal fan, actually, Becky Sabran. That was Jill Scott pulled down there. And the corner kick is given anyway for England, and Jill Scott saying to the referee, look, my shirt was being tugged. That was my first thought.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was exactly what Jill was saying, that you could see her shirt was being pulled. And then she just appealed for the corner. She said she'd take that.
Alex Greenwood will take it, so it'll be a left foot in swinger. And the player who plays at Lyon in France. And it swings now. And Steph Horton rose and got above the defenders. That was almost like a free header, or rather it was Millie Bright glanced it wide. Opportunity there for England.
It was a great delivery, and we know how good Millie Bright is in the air, as is Steph Horton, and she just pulled off the back post, got up well, but just couldn't quite direct a header.
Absolutely broken-hearted when she was sent off in that World Cup semi-final against the US in the summer. She also scored an own goal against Germany here the other year in the She Believes, but greatly improved as an England defender. A European 2017 final performances were terrific. I think she and England might have peaked a little bit early last year, and she struggled a wee bit in the World Cup, do you think, Millie?
Yeah, maybe. I think that, yeah, that was certainly that England did peak, and, you know, I know that's what Phil Neville wants to do this time. He wants to make sure he peaks at the right time, so at the major tournaments, this is great, you want to win this and you want to gain that momentum, but it is about the Euros and the Olympics.
Well, girls in the studio were talking about playing players when they're in form, and Millie Bright certainly having a terrific season with Chelsea. Opportunity here for Lauren Hemp to get the cross into the box, looking for Ellen White. The US steer it away. And Lloyd will turn here and go for goal and play it out to Tobin Heath. Great pace in the flank positions for the US. Steered out by Steph Horton. Wasn't a good ball in by Tobin Heath. That muscle injury just impaired her performances in the Olympic qualifying. Only played less than 2 hours there, but her form was strong, Tobin Heath.
That's exactly what Carly Lloyd will do, though. She'll drop deep like that, pick the ball up, and she's obviously got the pace either side of her.
People often ask me, what's the most dynamic performance you've seen by a footballer over the 40 years I've been doing it, and I'd have to go back. One of the most dynamic performances was Carly Lloyd, first 16 minutes of the 2015 final. We were in Vancouver, and in 16 minutes she had a hat-trick in a World Cup final. Sensational, wasn't it?
Absolutely unbelievable performance.
England have to defend another set piece. Against Spain are already off to a roaring start, beating Japan 3-1 in this stadium earlier on. Heath with the free kick, and it's a wicked one. Curling viciously, the captain was there. It's gone. And already not on the defensive, because I don't think they come into this game to defend and hold on and maybe catch them on the break. I don't think you can play the USA that way. But on the back foot, here comes a Heath corner, and Harry had to get there, make the sound save, which she did. The last couple of games in the World Cup finals should have done her the world of good. the most experienced England goalkeeper, Karen Barty's on her way back, isn't she?
She is, which is great to see. You know, she obviously got injured in the World Cup, and she's been struggling ever since to get back fitness-wise.
It's a lovely ball. Here to Lauren Hemp. You know, she's got pace. You know, she's having a very good season at Manchester City, and she's done brilliantly there. And Ellen White was attacking it. The goalkeeper has to come and gather. It's Naya.
That's brilliant from Hemp, JP. You know, it's exactly what you want from your wide player. She's so confident, nothing seems to faze her, gets 1v1 with her defender, just wants to beat the defender, and she's got 2 deliveries into the box, decent as well. You know, no floated deliveries, you want to drive the ball across, and she's done that twice, just not managed to get on the end of it.
10 minutes gone. This is dangerous. Crystal Dunn was a forward before moving back to the left-back position with such success. She can easily be on Williamson. Away by Bright. Taking Heath underneath it. Seem to have players in space and players comfortable in running with the ball, like Kristen Press there, who's forced another corner kick. She's in unbelievable form. She scored 6 in her last 7, 13 in 18. She scored in 6 games in a row, the first US player to do that since Carly Lloyd managed it in 2014, and she won the Golden Ball as the best player as they romped that Olympics qualifying campaign in the early weeks of this year. Danger here for England. It came up, wasn't it handball by Christian Press? They decided against it, and that was a foul throw, surely to goodness. That's a foul throw by Kelly O'Hara. And the US now get a free kick for a foul on the World Cup winning right back. No wonder he's disgruntled. I think that was a foul, but there should have been a foul throw awarded, shouldn't there, sir?
Yeah, 100%.
Sooner or later, they'll score from a set piece. They always seem to. Scored in their last 57 internationals. It's a variation on a theme. Low and bobbling and dangerous and looking for Ertz. This is O'Hara with the cross into the box. A big expansive effort by Haran. Now Rose Lavelle. Pulled away by Horton. All the pressure on England. O'Hara trying to protect the ball. That's another throw-in decision. Dalkampa. Back to O'Hara. Slipped forward by Julie Ertz and cleared away. Now Rose Lavelle. She'll shoot from there. It was a good effort. It was a fine save by Telford. Brilliant start by the US here. Power and pace and ambition and drive. This is Heath. Steered wide by Kristen Precious. She came in, but the run was a dangerous one by Heath.
England just can't get out. This is great effort from Rose Lavelle, and that's exactly what we know Carly Telford can do. Great shot stopper. But England just need to calm down when they get the ball. It's very rushed, and that is down to the US and the way that they press you, and when they get the ball, they go forward so quickly with so much pace. Just need to relax a little bit on the ball.
You can't let Lavelle come in and have a shot like that. She was in the best 11 in the World Cup. She scored a brilliant goal in the final. She ran 10 miles in the game against England. Stabbed out by Steph Horton. Play with no fear again was the message from the England manager. It's just been a nervy start by one or two of them. Williamson misjudging that, but she gets to it now. I can tell you that Phil Neville is a big fan of the Arsenal defender. He can play anywhere, and such a technically gifted player. She wasn't there particularly, but I know he rates her very highly.
Yeah, and rightly so. She's a fantastic player. I think the girls said it in the studio, she reads the game so well. Play at centre-half, play in that holding midfield role, can also play at full-back, but when she gets the ball, often makes the right decision with their pass.
And what can you say about the Under-20 World Cup winning captain of 2012? In a 100th senior cap now, Julie Ertz.
What a player she is, and how good was she in the World Cup? She's just like their quarterback, isn't she? Her range of passing sets up the attacks, but she's also their body on the line, protecting the defence like she did there.
She was centre-half in World Cup 2015. They switched her in 2017 to the centre of midfield, and she immediately became the US Player of the Year. Steph Horton could have now gone. Oh, we're mentioning Steph. Please support Karen Carney and Stephen Warnock, who are running the London Marathon this year to raise money for Steph's husband, Stephen Darby, who we know is suffering from illness. The Darby Rimmer Foundation, Darby Rimmer MND Foundation. And I gather they'll have a page soon up on the website for you to support them running that. It's a great thing they're doing. And as always, we wish Stephen well. We're now played, as I say, in England. I think we'll be relieved it's 0-0 soon.
I think so. What they've done well, though, is they have defended the set pieces well, which I know is something that they've been working on.
It's a bit nervy. Once or twice they've tried to play out very, very deep, and it's looked shaky. Nikita Paris, first time we've seen her in action. I can tell you the US are very wary of Jill Scott. They are very wary of Ellen White. Another reason why I think Phil Neville picked her for this one. Bethany England will get her chance. That's very clear from what he said yesterday. There's Carly Lloyd. Tiran. Done arriving. Turned and twisted like a winger in there, and Nikita Paris will bring it away. Might have been fouled by Haran. I feel fairly uncomfortable with England playing out from the back like this. Sue, what about you?
I just think because they are pressing so high up the field, sometimes you just need to relieve the pressure a little bit.
It's Greenwood nearly caught there by Heath, and she has the ball now. Horton has to step out, slithering in. Of course, Julie Ertz, who stayed, rather it's Haran who stayed down. Heath has gone to the referee, suggesting there was some sort of stamping motion in the challenge. A 50-50 ball.
Yes, Steph Horton had to go for it. Wins the ball well. Don't think there's anything in that. It was a flick of the foot, but she was just trying to flick the ball away.
He's only got caught in there. Since the World Cup of 2019, they've played 12 games, the USA, won 11, drawn 1, scored 47, conceded 3, but they haven't conceded a goal now in 569 minutes of football since Anna Angevart of Sweden scored against them back in November.
I think sometimes when you say a new manager comes in, they're going through a transitional period and teams might get an opportunity, but just seem to be getting better and better, don't they?
Haven't lost against the European side since France beat them in this tournament in 2017. They've been there for years at the top of women's football, the women's football tree. England's progress has been startling, but really only started with the 2015 World Cup. Other nations, Norway so strong for so many years, Germany of course, France. Huge bench. You can leave Megan Rapinoe there on the substitute bench, World Footballer of the Year. Was that another major reason why they beat us in the semi-final, beat England in the semi-final, I should say, because they had greater strength and depth than we did?
They had a huge strength and depth, and the ability to rotate when they needed to rotate in games, and of course, but I still think it was just that physicality. I just think it was the fitness levels. I think there's a lot of England players that are right up there, but I think it's getting everybody to that level. That's what Dawn should provide.
Walsh, lovely ball, Nikita Paris creeping round the back. Straight at the goalkeeper with the header as the USA looked for a flag that eventually came.
This was a fantastic bit of play. What a ball that is to actually spot Nikita Paris's run, then a fantastic first touch. Just managed to get the header away, but straight at the goalkeeper, and it was offside, wasn't it?
She hasn't scored since the opening game of this season against Belgium away. She did have a goal disallowed against Germany.
That's got to be the in-ball for England, though. Out wide, because their fullbacks like to get forward at every opportunity. It's a lot of work for our wide players, have to get back and defend, but if they can get in round the back.
Hunt was second to the ball there with Ertz noticeably. And the US press here now with Tobin Heath. Fed by Lavelle. Woods in the middle. Heath looks for on the spin. And it was blocked by Millie Bright, who did brilliantly for England. And then by Jill Scott. Good awareness by Millie Bright in there. Been so strong for Chelsea this season, as I was saying. Much involved in the title race, of course, a point behind Manchester City. Futfem still in the Women's FA Cup as well. Chelsea go to Everton and Manchester City go to Leicester. It's Greenwood. Confirming the starting lineup again to Demi Stokes. Had that long period in the USA. England have got to win those 50-50s, no doubt about it. Right again, well positioned for England. Here's Julie Ertz. Lindsay Horan. Crystal Dunn with the ball forward. And that goalkeeping. If you're wondering why the pronunciation of Horan might have changed, we used to call her Lindsay Horan, and then our very good friend Hope Solo put us right in the summer in France. There's a chance for her from the mistake by England, and Telford rescues her country. And England eventually stab it away with Greenwood, and the referee's blown. Big chance there for the USA. Good goalkeeping. She started so well, Carly Telford.
Started excellent. Lovely ball through here, and I thought Steph Houghton had just done enough to just clear it over to Leah Williamson. But it's Carly Telford alert again. So athletic.
Why is the whistle blown?
I thought you were going to tell me.
I don't know what she did wrong there. The US player, I didn't think when she challenged Carly Telford, the ball was on the ground and not firmly in her grasp. I didn't think that was a free kick.
I'll take it.
I look to you for explanation on these things. I don't quite know why, but there you are. We've travelled a fair few miles together. It doesn't get better, Sue, really, does it? Here's Heath. Bella Kemper. Becky Sauerbrunn. Two centre-backs were outstanding in the World Cup finals. 7 rows there. Nikita Paris was fouled. She got the wrong side of the US defence from their point of view, and from England's point of view, that's a good sign.
She looks sharp, Nikita Paris.
She's got 11 goals for Lyon this season. That's no mean feat. The fact that she's played so many games for a very, very good team.
She adapted to life there really quickly.
England free kick, it's all the way to the far post. Just dumped out in the end by O'Hara, I think it was. Good ball in by Alice Greenwood. She has that in her locker, that's for sure.
It's a great ball just in behind the defence, and it's just that little touch. Well, Millie Bright was in at the far post.
Chance here for England, 25 minutes gone. In towards the near post. Oh, it's a good header on as well. Jill Scott forces it up onto the top of the bar, of the net, I should say. Lovely curling, whipped corner. Hemp was at the near post for the touch.
Oh,
that's so close.
So unlucky. Just a real well-worked corner. You know, near post corner, whipped in with pace. Hemp does well to get the flick on. And all Jill Scott just needed was just the touch towards goal, but couldn't quite get the right touch on it.
Here's Heath. Nina's throw. Touch on there again by Lauren Hemp. She came on that game against Germany at Wembley. She ended so flat for England in front of a very big crowd. She a sparkling cameo that day. Just settling, Sue, aren't they, now?
This is what the US do. You know, first 10, 15 minutes, really press high with a real intensity, try and get that early goal. And the fact that England have managed to keep it 0-0, now they're building their way back into the game. And the two centre-halves have done really well. Millie Bright and Steph Houghton just to keep that pressure off.
It's a bad mistake by Sabra, and Ellen White goes for goal. Well, she's sharp, and she's looking to add to those 35 goals she scored for England.
Poor mistake there, but again, well read by Ellen White. She's only got one thing in her mind, that's to have a go at goal, but easy for the goalkeeper, straight at her.
Scored 5 in a row in World Cup finals and 5 games in a row. No other English player, men's game or women's game, has ever managed that. Now England's top scorer at World Cup finals in the women's game, of course. This is a player who's had 3 ACL injuries. She even had a spinal injury last year, I think it was. Which ended up being a stress fracture, I believe. This is a lovely turn by Rose Lavelle, one of the best young players in the world. And it's a ball that finds Carly Lloyd in a good position in the end. She just couldn't react quickly enough to get the shot away. Now, who am I to criticise a player who has 122 goals for a country? But I think that Carly Lloyd 2 years ago would have scored there.
Just a lovely bit of play from Rose Lavelle. That's exactly what she can do. So agile, change of pace, and then finding the pass at the end of it. Oh.
That's a bad mistake by England again, rescued away by Houghton. Hemp. After the opening 10 minutes, you'd have thought the USA would storm into an early lead, and it hasn't happened, and that's all credit to England.
They've just had to stay in the game, and they've done that.
Here's Nikita Paris. And Scott. And we get Japan at England. It's coming your way on Sunday, 5:50. That's on BBC 2. And England against Spain Wednesday on BBC 4, 9 p.m. But you can see all the other games in the competition on the BBC iPlayer, on the red button as well. So look out for all of those games. Earlier on we had that's Spain 3, Japan 1 scoreline for you. Good game it was as well. Guterres put Spain ahead, and then Iwabuchi, good player, level for Japan, and Alicia Garcia came on at half-time for Spain, scored 2 goals. They look very strong. And they've been improving for the last 2 or 3 years. Now, that's a nice little collision. And Ben O'Hara is okay, she's okay. On we go. How good is Rose Lavelle?
She's superb, isn't she? I think every time she gets the ball, you think that something's going to happen.
Lloyd with the ball through. Now played. We had lunch with Carly Lloyd in Lyon, didn't we, in the summer? Well, when I say that, Sue, she had lunch with Hope Solo. We sat sort of nearish, creeping ever closer, trying to be part of the gang.
I was going to say that. we were on a table quite a way away.
And every time he sort of tried to get nearer, so Hope and Carly tried to...
Security came.
Blue lights started coming down the road. I noticed you ran quickly when you saw those. Anyway, a different story. But here we go. When you look back at some of the shaky performances in this 2019-2020 season for England. Belgium, good team, 3-3 away. Okay, that's all right, but they were poor for long periods against Brazil at home. And they were disappointing at home in that big game against Germany. They just squeezed the win at Czech Republic away at Portugal as well. Players deflated after a World Cup. Early in the domestic season as well, but this is a really marked improvement for England. But here come the USA again. And Lavelle, O'Hara, and Heath. Jerome Greenwood gets the cross in. Chance, good save again. Creating openings. Once again, Carly Lloyd very much in the thick of it.
She's just so good at this. Just finds space in the box sometimes where there isn't any, and just gets her head up, doesn't move. You know, she just strolls into the box. England have to be better at picking her up. You know, they expect that explosive run, but why move? I've got space. Again, a decent save by Carly Telford.
She was a top scorer in 2019, Carly Lloyd. She scored 16 goals. She scored 19 in the last 21. Needs 8 goals more to join Christine Lilly on 130 as their 8th highest scorer. Becky Sara. They've got, I think it's 8 players in the squad over 100 caps, but then the USA play a lot more internationals than the European countries. Because they go through Olympic qualification every 4 years. Walsh. Really bright again. Good game. We're not seeing a great deal of her. She's up against one of the best in the world, as we've been saying.
Do you know what? I've been really impressed with her and Ellen White, the way that they're working off the ball. They're making sure that Ertz doesn't get on the ball, but they're doing that together. So one will press high and the other one will just drop in, because clearly they've looked at Ertz and said she's the one that's going to get on the ball and make things happen from deep. So their off-the-ball work and their understanding with each other has been excellent, but we just haven't seen enough of them on the ball.
A few weeks coming up for Alex Greenwood at Lyon. They're top of the table, 3 points clear of PSG with 9 to go. They're in the Champions League quarter-final. Who do they play, Lyon? Do they play Bayern? I think it is. It's the new coach. He played for a fair few teams in the USA, Wichita and Kansas City. California Cougars, he was a defender here. Sabra. Lots of Peaky Blinders, does Becky Sabra, I'm told. Here's Abby Dalkamper. O'Hara joining in. Boy, that's what she can do majestically. There's a majesty about that play. Horton and White again combining. Chipping England throw. He missed a couple of games this season at Rose Lavelle. Made a debut against England in this competition. She was brilliant. She was man of the match in that game as well. She's just a terrific young player, and here come the USA again. Just go and support. Christian Press laid it off to Haran. Now done. Was she clipped there? Yes, she was. Julie Ertz. O'Hara to Lavelle. Heath. Better shape about that England defence now. O'Hara left it too high for Lloyd, and out comes a confident Carly Telford. Worry about Carly Telford for me, so she doesn't get enough games for a club. She's played just 8 this season.
I suppose that's because she's competing with Berger, who's been absolutely brilliant in the big games. But all you can say is from a performance tonight, I think she's been excellent. You know, when she's had to come for things, she's come out, she's closed players down, made the arrow, the angle narrow, easy for me to say. And then just then you could hear the communication.
What?
Much better than mine.
Sabra, such a woman in the World Cup. Her getting a jittery spell when Ellen White put her under pressure. This is her 175th international. And the second player of those number of caps to still be active. Oh, it's the other one. Walsh. Good ball that. Give the hem, took it neatly enough as well. Julie Ertz there with her. That's a good old contest that. A bit of space here for Walsh. Scott, having pushed up so high, has dragged Ertz out of the picture. That gives a little bit more room for Kira Walsh.
She's the one who can switch the play as well.
She's produced a decent ball there, looking for Starman, couldn't quite get that. Seven minutes to go. Just impressed for the USA. This Heath. England stood off for a little bit. And she backed back into the penalty area. Heath went at her, claims a penalty. Don't think it was. But it's a danger when you back inside your own penalty area with a player running at you like Tobin Heath.
She just run into her. Don't think that was a penalty.
I think she was looking for it, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Thought it was actually good defending from Alex Greenwood. It's difficult when you're playing against a player like Tobin Heath that can go either way. She was trying not to get done on the outside, but then did want her to come inside. I just think it was a poor touch and ended up going straight into her.
The US Soccer Federation described her not so long ago as the most skillful player in the squad, which is a lovely compliment to a player from your Soccer Federation, but I wonder what the other 22 felt. Here come England. This is promising. This is Stanway out to Nikita Paris to take on Dunn. Inside, here's Jill Scott with a lovely bending effort. That's 4 saves Nayas had to make.
Straight at her. Again, but that's where you want Georgia Stanway, just in those little pockets of space. I think she could have turned and had to go there. You know, it was a great first touch, but then she was looking for Nikita Paris out wide.
Lemon White. Come back out to her. And there clears away. That penalty save against Stefan Whitman in the semi-final was the first penalty save in regulation time made by a US goalkeeper in any World Cup finals.
Great start.
I was reading that the other day because I'm a particularly boring type of a chap. Here's the Christian press. Around. It's a corner ball. Steady enough defending there by Leah Williamson. She had to be patient in the World Cup, didn't she, the Arsenal defender, and he came on for 6 minutes against the Cameroon in that horrible game. 5 minutes to go, I think, with a little bit of stoppage time that we'll get. Giroud is in there. They are so deadly at set pieces, making a run in. Steph kept the ground and got it away. Scored 21 set-piece goals in 2019. Nearly 30% of all of their goals. They hit 9 at the World Cup finals. Playing up from the back that deep is intended to bypass a high press, but very rarely it does. Occasionally England did it very well. Here's Williamson looking for Jill Scott.
That was really well done by England. I think because Carly Telford's so good with her feet.
Really bright. Well, it's gone against her on hand for turning the defender, Kelly O'Hara, on the ground.
Because it's US.
Good balance on the right back. A good surfer, I'm told. Sabra. St. Louis, Missouri. Raised in California, but not born there. Iran. Press joining in. Flying down the right-hand side, but seen from a long way out by Williamson, and again England have done that well enough.
I think this was the potential penalty. I still don't think there's anything in that.
Ran at Alex Greenwood and threw herself to the ground. But younger of the two centre-backs by 8 years. There's a top ball in there by Laval.
Both sides at times have just lacked that final ball, haven't they? They've got themselves into decent positions. Haven't quite found the pass that was intended.
5 defeats in the last 8 games for England, and a couple of wins in that time. A rude awakening. I think that World Cup physically and mentally took so much out of them. This is when it will start getting serious. Less than 500 days to go to the Euro finals. Less than a minute to go here before the half-time whistle could blow, and here's Heath. I think it might have been going wide anyway. Carly Telford made sure there were possibly better options to Toby Heath's left-hand side there.
Yeah, I think she took the wrong option. Good running into the channels initially, and again, that's the first thing on her mind. I'm going to drive at the player. Could she have pulled it back? I think it's Rose Lavelle coming in. She had an option there, and she also had the option far post.
Crystal Dunn was coming up as well, wasn't she, strongly? Comes the corner kick. And tussling forward. In the end, conceding the foul. He's bumping into 19-year-old Lauren Hemp. With the England under-20 squad that finished third in the Junior World Cup of 2018. Manchester City's Lauren Hemp used to be at Bristol City.
I've been impressed by how England have defended set pieces, though. I know that's something that we've said on numerous occasions, haven't we, when we've been doing commentary, that they need to be better at times with crosses into the box or set pieces, but I thought they've done that well this first half.
That She Believes Cup spinning logo looks like a road sign from the old East End of London. Imagine Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins with that wonderful Cockney accent singing along. Half-time, 0-0. And I'll tell you what, that's not a bad result for England, because the US started so strongly. Ollie Lloyd with a couple of efforts, but his team have gone close as well. White and Hemp, White again and Scott. It's been a promising first half this for England, given their autumn despair. And at half-time in Florida, it's the USA 0, England 0.
So it is goalless at half-time. So far, so good for England, Alex?
Yeah, I'll start with a positive, that we've managed to get to half-time and it's 0-0 against the world champions.
I wanted you to get in on
Yes.
a positive. I know you like to be positive.
Yes, I do.
But I'm assuming there's a little bit of a but.
Well, I was sitting here and I was saying to you, please get through 15 minutes without the USA conceding, which is a good thing because we know USA like to score goals early, so they've done well there. But me and Leanne have been discussing that it doesn't look like USA are in the off-season. You would think that it's England that have not been playing football. And yeah, OK, they haven't been together as a team for 3 months. And I think that's kind of showing the connection isn't there. And it's just a bit scrappy. But like I said, we've got to half-time at 0-0.
Yeah, the quality just from both teams, for me, hasn't really meshed tonight for whatever reason. You know, I think we've done a few things in the game that they wouldn't usually do. And I think sometimes when we play against America, players tend to be a bit fearful of them. And you can see that, you know, the back line are receiving it way further this way when they would usually receive it higher up. And, you know, I just think we look scared of them. But the quality from both teams, I think, hasn't been good enough. And like Alex said, you know, we look like we've not been in season and USA have not been in season.
Well, the USA have probably had the bulk of the chances. They have had a fair few chances. Always knew they would, but how much are England inviting these chances on?
Yeah, you know, like I said, we're playing up from the back, which is obviously the way of football nowadays. But I just think you have to, you know, play the game that's ahead of you. And
These
I
are
think
actually the
it's
England
causing us a
chances
problem.
here. So let's start with England chances. And that was playing out of the back, from the back, and creating opportunities from it.
Yeah, and I think that one of my biggest issues during this half is that our centre-backs are touching the ball more than our midfield and our front line. And I think, you know, Ellen White hasn't got the ball enough. Nikita Paris hasn't got the ball enough. And as you see, you know, Tobin Heath has had a lot of running of the ball as well.
That's what we want to see more of. Kira Walsh, that's her ability. Get her on the ball because she's able to pick out passes like this. And this is where it's a chance. And this is where I'm sitting here. I'm like, if that's Beth England, the form she's in, she's putting that in the back of the net.
It's true. I think, as I was saying this to Alex before, if that's like a Beth England or a Vivian Miedema, that's a goal. You know, that natural instinct to put that in the back of the net. And you don't get many chances against the USA like that. And it's not, you know, I think that's a failed opportunity.
The difference is with USA, what they make you do, they make you panic, they make you rush, and that's where England just need to have the composure, breathe when you're on the ball, bring players in, because Ellen White's isolated, so sometimes when she does get the ball, you just need to wait for your teammates to arrive and get some passes in. I don't think we've had actually a string of passes yet.
No, and I think as well, it doesn't matter who's playing up front, because we're not getting them the ball. It's either we're not getting them the ball, they're not coming to get the ball, you know, it's a cat and mouse thing. But I just think, you know, we just need to get the ball to the front line, and then hopefully we can make things happen, because Nikita's such a threat going forward with her pace. You know, Ellen is a great finisher, but we just need to have a bit more calmness, I think. Yeah. We look a bit erratic at times. You know, there's like a pinball machine. The ball's going all over the place.
Yeah, let's get back to the USA chances. And like you're saying, England very deep. How much is that inviting the USA to be able to have the space to create these sorts of chances?
Yeah, the thing is, you have to learn lessons. And what I'm seeing from this game is we're doing the same things we did in the World Cup. We're inviting our own pressure defensively. It's scaring me at times. We're being sloppy, allowing teams into the game. And this is where you can't give USA, the world champions, time and space and allow them to keep getting shots off or giving fouls away and inviting set plays, because USA will punish you.
And I expect in the second half for the USA to make a couple of substitutions, because Carly Lloyd doesn't usually play as the main number 9. If Lynn Williams comes on or Jess McDonald, they're frightening pace. Lynn Williams is one of the most fastest players I've ever played with. You know, she's fantastic. So I'm going to be looking for her to come on in the second half and make a difference. But, you know, I think the USA have done a decent job so far. I still don't think they've given their complete all-round game, but I'm looking forward to the second half and hopefully we can have some more quality.
Just that last example there with Carly Lloyd's shot. Carly Lloyd, one of the best players in the world, she's unmarked in our penalty box. Someone has to be marking
she just
her.
strolled into the box and just kind of had a connection with the ball.
Yeah, a few times. Rose Lavelle, her shot as well. So much time and space, like you're saying. And you have to put pressure on them. It takes a lot of hard work, doesn't it? Especially against this US side. But if you don't put the pressure on them, they will punish you eventually.
And that's why hopefully now Dawn Scott gets England to that level.
There's a lot resting on Dawn Scott's shoulder.
It's because
I think Dawn's going to come on in the second half.
That's what I see with Dawn. With the USA, they are just relentless. The pressure, it's wave after wave. They don't stop. And that's what England need. Actually, I think in terms of our midfield, we need to make some changes because we need composure in there. I'm looking at Jordan Nobbs, who's sitting on the bench, someone who gets the ball and looks forward. I think we're playing backwards too much, which is inviting USA onto us.
Yeah, there was also a penalty shout as well for Tobin Heath. I'm not sure we have an angle that gives a definitive shout, but I mean, what's your initial thoughts? You played with her, Leanne.
When I first saw it, I thought it was a penalty, and I've watched it 3 or 4 times now, and I'm not quite sure there's contact. I think Tobin's obviously is one of those ones, you know, Jamie Vardy does it a lot. If you're looking for it, but at the end of the day, if there's contact, then it's a penalty. But I'm not quite sure there is contact here. And if I'm honest, I think that Tobin could go on the outside with her pace there and just completely go past Alex Greenwood, because Tobin's frightening when she gets in that position.
So would that suggest that perhaps there was contact if she didn't go and use her pace? I mean, it's hard. If we can't tell, how it's difficult for officials to be able to tell.
I'm saying that's where Tobin's clever in the box. I think she's actually going to Alex to look for contact there.
Yeah, but she's going like that. She's nudging the ball, when I think I would look for Tobin to just take the ball past and just hit it.
What do you think England need to do in this second half? Do you expect changes? Leanne said she expects changes from the US. Do you expect changes from this England side? Will we see Beth England?
Bring on Beth England. England for England. Besides Beth England, like I said, I think in midfield, I think we need a Jordan Nobbs one because her energy, but just someone to breathe on the ball and invite other players to come into the game. And I think we need to stop being sloppy at the back or we will get punished in the second half.
Because it looks like we're surprised that we're playing out from the back. You know, the girls don't look like they're ready to receive the ball. They're receiving the ball way deeper than I would expect them to receive the ball, and I think it's causing us a big problem. But if we already plan to play up from the back, our centre-backs look like it's a shock to them that we're playing out from the back. And in the game, we saw Carly had a couple of times where she's kind of hesitating with the ball, and it almost cost us in the end.
Would you like to see them push further up, the defensive line, the whole defensive line push further up? It obviously leaves space in behind for that pace that the US side have, but is that what you would like to see in the second half?
Yeah, I think, you know, in 2015, we did route one football, didn't we? We just kind of hit the ball over the top and Jodie Taylor ran onto it. But sometimes you just got to do that because we don't want to invite the pressure on and then, you know, there's a sloppy mistake at the back and then they end up capitalising on that, the US team.
Yeah, well, a big second 45 to come, but there is plenty more sport coming your way here on the BBC over this weekend, and it includes England's second She Believes match against Japan. We're on BBC 2 from 10 to 6 on Sunday. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Raheem Sterling are just two of the names on a packed football focus this week. I'll be back with final score on Saturday afternoon, before Gary wraps up the day with Ian Wright and Danny Murphy. And if you want to get your boots on, now's your chance.
The FA Fives is the biggest five-a-side festival across the nation. From the park, from the street, from the community. Get together and play. It's your road to the Euros and everybody is welcome.
To register, visit bbc.co.uk/FA5s.
OK, right, let's get back to Orlando. Katie Gornall is out there. She's been joined pitchside by two familiar faces.
Yeah, that's right. I'm joined by one of football's top teams here. We've got the former Lioness Laura Bassett and her other half, Orlando Pride manager Mark Skinner. Guys, thanks for joining us. I just want to check, first of all, are we all supporting the same team? Mark?
I'm always supporting my players, my adopted American players, but I'm English, so I support my team. I'm lucky I win either way. That's how I use it. So,
Well, I think we're relieved to hear that. Laura, coming into this game, England weren't in great form. They were a little bit cagey at times, but so far so good. What have you made of their first half performance?
Yeah, to go in at half-time, you know, with a clean sheet is a massive boost for the team. I think you always know when you play against America, there's going to be waves and waves of attack, and I think we are defending well as a team and getting the first contacts, but then we can't seem to get up and out of our own half. So, but, you know, on an all-round performance from that first half, there are some positives, so I'm sure they can get in at half-time and sort those through and really come out. You know, it's cooled down a little bit now, just a little bit. So, you know, hopefully to come and really attack this USA team in the second half.
And who stood out for you? Who's impressed? Because there's a real mix of kind of experienced players and young players out there tonight, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. I think the triangle of Carly, Millie and Steph are robust. I think, you know, they've really been solid at the back. But then I think, you know, once Kira, Lauren Hemp and Keats do link up and Ellen, then we do look good going forward on the counter-attack.
Mark, I know this is the off-season for the USA players, but it doesn't really look like that out there. They look pretty sharp, don't they?
they never really have an off-season. The players are so dedicated to what they do, and it's been quite a long time with the national team, so they're always ready. And I know from our PCR experience with our American players that they stay ready for whenever it's called upon, and they really are truly professional. So regardless, England are going to have a hard game wherever they play. USA, anybody plays them any time, they're always ready.
They've got so much depth, they've been able to leave Megan Rapinoe on the bench. I mean, what are you expecting from the US in the second half?
Do you know what? I think they're very good at suffocating you, and I think that if England want success, they have to go behind their fullbacks because they're so attacking. So I think with Nikita, with Lauren Hem, I think that's where England will get their chances on the counter-attack on the breakaway. But with the US, because of the likes of Tobin, they can just create something. It can be a set piece, it can be a moment of magic from Rose Lavelle, so they can do it all. But if they do bring people like Megan Rapinoe on, they can change the game again. So England have to be ready, robust, defend like they have done first half, and then they'll stand a chance to take a result. Absolutely, they're in this game 100%.
Yeah, they are still in this game. What would you like to see from England then in the second half?
I just think when we've got the ball into Kira, Jill, we've had good combinations and got the ball out wide, and especially turn the ball behind Crystal Dunn, behind Kelly O'Hara, because our pace is phenomenal up there, and we are very good on this counter-attack. So again, we need to keep turning those fullbacks.
And I just want to ask you about how your job's going, Mark, obviously. I know it is the off-season. You had a difficult season last season. It's got to be hard when you lose so many players to the World Cup. And what are your thoughts with the Olympics on the horizon as well?
I think you learn from the model last season, so having already experienced it, it's almost the same model. In an international tournament year, you have to prepare differently, so we've learned from that. We've recruited through the draft system, and we're looking to recruit as well, potentially from Europe. So, you know, we're looking to build a solid base and really show what we're about. We didn't do that last season, and we're going to learn and make sure we do that this season.
Have you got baby Sadie an Orlando Prize strip then for the new season?
Yeah, she had a baby grow last year, but we haven't got one this year. So, but she will be getting one, yeah, for sure.
What did she make of that, the first half?
Well, she didn't like the fireworks, so as soon as the fireworks went off, she cried and went back inside, so she didn't watch much of it. She's watching nursery rhymes, I'm afraid.
You get some headphones there for later.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys. That's all from us here ahead of a huge 45 minutes for England at the Explorer Stadium.
It was a fine save by Telford. Nikita Paris creeping around the back, and Telford rescues her country. Ripped corner.
So unlucky.
Well, Ellen White goes for goal. Half-time, 0-0. I'll tell you what, that's not a bad result for England.
Always nice to see Laura Bassett on the telly. She'll actually be here for the game on Wednesday night. But Leanne, you played out in Orlando. What is it like as a football city?
Yeah, you know, I was in there in an inaugural season and I played there, and it was fantastic. You know, the weather's brilliant. It's like so humid, it's so hot.
Just like here.
Yeah, it's like England. That's why I don't live here.
No, like Laura was saying and Mark was saying as well, in behind fullbacks, is that the area that Phil Neville will need to target? And of course there are goals on that bench in Beth England and Chloe Kelly as well.
Yeah, as defenders, you don't like running back towards your own goal, especially when you've got players like Nikita Paris, Hemp as well, that are good at running in behind or 1v1, taking your fullbacks on. So hopefully we will see more of that.
I do think as well we need someone to get on the ball, like Alex said, a Jordan Nobbs to maybe come into this game, because, you know, we can't really get the ball to Ellen at the moment, or Nikita, and we have looked dangerous when they have had the ball.
And we just saw there the two shots of the shot there of Julie Ertz and Lindsay Horan warming up together. They're such a formidable unit in the centre of that midfield. Is somebody like Jordan Nobbs, the energy that she has, is she somebody that could maybe find a way around them as opposed to trying to play through them, if you like?
Yeah, and I think they respect Jordan as well. I think they know what Jordan's capable of, and I think, you know, it's definitely different now. I think America fear playing against us, if I'm honest. I think before, they never used to fear playing against us, but they know they have to earn the right to beat us now.
Yeah. I think the most important thing now coming back off this half-time is to ride that storm again, because America will come out, they'll be firing, and it will be that high tempo again. So I think England just need to find a way to settle through that, get on the ball, breathe, and find a way to build yourself into the game, first of all.
Yeah, it doesn't look like England, that USA have made changes. England on their way out as well. There is Alex Greenwood, Phil Neville on his way out. I wonder what his team talk would have been and what it will do for this second half. Let's get back with your commentary team for it. Sue Smith alongside Jonathan Pearce.
Thank you very much. No changes, as you were saying, and we'll wait and see who comes on in the second half for both of these two countries. Interesting to hear Leanne talking about Lynn Williams. Well, she'll come on. She was the highest scoring American in the league in 2019. And she's a very, very good player. So we'll wait and see if she comes on, and we'll wait also, and I do expect to see young Kelly come on for England in the second period. Tobin Heath, blistering pace on the right-hand side. Kristen Press, blistering pace on the left-hand side, augmented by O'Hara and Dunn pouring forward from the full-back positions. I guess that's why England haven't been able to get out to, and that's why England can't play a high line when they've got pace like that. They can get in behind,
and that's the worry when they have so much pace, and Carly Lloyd does so well. She drags players out, so she'll drop into midfield, allowing them the pace, and like you say, the full-backs join at every possible opportunity.
Now here's Jill Scott looking for Nikita Paris, and Dunn straight through with the challenge. So strong as Crystal Dunn. Should be honoured on Sunday at the next game for reaching 100 caps. This is her 102nd, by the way. And it's going to be a throw to England, and Leah Williamson will take it. Steady first half. After, I thought she looked a little bit nervy in the first 5 minutes, but she really settled down strongly. The Arsenal player, Arsenal fan.
I think it's always difficult as well for a player if you've been playing central for a lot of the season, which he has done, whether it's in that holding midfield role or centre half. It's different positioning, isn't it, when you're playing as a fullback or a wide player? It's probably just getting used to that.
Captain England under 15, under 17 levels, so she could be a future captain as well. I know Phil Neville, as I was saying earlier, rates her very, very highly. She's played in every game this season. She's only 22. Steph Wharton and Millie Bright comfortable playing together, although that hasn't actually happened enough in the last couple of years due to injuries. Bright again. And Alex Greenwood. Such a clever footballing team, though, the USA. Just to hear Mark saying that at half-time, the way they smother you, they'll also lull you into a false sense of security and suddenly break out, change the tempo, bang, they're in. The game is gone from you.
They just have triggers, don't they, when to go and when not to go, and when they do go, it's such pace and intensity.
It's a nice turn by Stanway. Here's Jill Scott. The USA are very concerned about her. Williamson, this is progressive from England. The crosser onto the back post, looking for Lauren Hemp to come in. She's not the tallest. It wasn't that bad a ball in. But it swung away and out of play. For a goal kick. Scott Rose there. With Horan in the air. They're certainly appreciative of England, the USA these days. And as I was saying earlier, that the general consensus of opinion is that England pushed them a lot harder than the Dutch did in the World Cup finals, even though the Netherlands went through to the final, of course, is Horan.
It's the fact that they keep across the Women's Super League as well. They know the players, they know who's doing well.
Done. The US Soccer Federation described the England semi-final in Lyon as a match for the ages. Gosh, that's risky. That was risky. Here's Alex. The back heel there towards Carly Lloyd. And the shot deflected away of Millie Bright. They had more corners than England in the first half. They edged possession a great deal, actually. The official stats have them as having 11 efforts on the England goal. Didn't think it was that many. Certainly the busier goalkeeper has been Carly Telford. She's organising zonal defence now. Nobody waits in the middle. A watchful Ellen White. Lauren was free in there to rise in the air. Well, you could see that coming from a long way out. How England didn't see it, I don't understand at all, and it should have been 1-0 to the USA.
Yeah, that's exactly who they were aiming for. You can see Jill Scott sort of passes her on. Pretty much a free header. I know Carly Telford's in and around there. There's players in and around, but no one's really getting up challenging her. So let off that.
There's 18 goals for her country, 7 this season. Scored against Canada in the final of the Olympic qualifying. Carly Lloyd will be looking for her 3rd Olympic gold medal. Williamson under a bit of pressure from Dunn, lobbed it forward. Sabram was there. Did you notice, by the way, as they came out for the second half, Carly Lloyd was looking around the stadium? I think she was looking for her bezies. I think she was looking for you and me. Her lunch pals. And I know somewhere, Hope Solo will be watching this and listening, and we'll probably get a terse message tomorrow. Loads of Americans in Lyon, weren't there, for those final few days? Terrific atmosphere. It was a great decision to play both semis and a final in the same venue. Now this is bright purposeful. Lauren Hemp passed out. A little bit sloppy, Nikita Paris to check back on it. There's Williamson. Steady start to the second half by England there. Oh, Paris has got in behind here. Half a chance. It's deflected away off Sauerbrunn. As they were saying in the studio, Sue, when England get half chances against the USA, the world champions, they've got to take them.
They do, and what a ball this is from Leah Williamson. And Nikita Paris does so well. She just gets in behind Crystal Dunn. And I just feel she was caught in two minds. Do a shoot, do a cross, and in the end she just goes to pass it into that near post and straight at Sauerbrunn.
Corner kick. Alex Greenwood will take it. Who did it deflect? Here's Greenwood. In the middle of the penalty area, goalkeeper punched it out. Wow, a little bit of hair pulling there by Georgia Stanway. She pulled my hair, says Tobin Heath.
There's not even anything to say about that. They were both giggling about it in the end. I think Georgia Stanway was initially looking to just pull her shirt, and obviously can't do that.
I once saw Ian Wright do that in a game at Highbury against Reggie Blinker, I think it was. He had long hair. It's funny that day. I don't think Reggie thought it was. Now, purposeful here from the USA. Press, lovely bend effort, 1-0. World champions ahead. Too much room, too much time, too much space. England pay the penalty, 1-0 to the USA, 7 minutes into the second half. Kristen Press.
I don't want to take anything away from the finish, because this is absolutely superb, and this is exactly, you get yourself into a position like that, so clinical, win the ball in the middle of the park, and again it's Carly Lloyd just dropping in deep, sees Kristen Press, lovely first touch, just opens her body up, curls it into that far corner. But from a defensive perspective, England have to do better. Steph Houghton initially goes out to press Carly Lloyd, but then they don't come across. They give Kristen Press far too much time and space. That's easy for her, but what a finish that is.
She's having a terrific 2020 is Kristen Press. She was player of the tournament in the Olympic qualifying. She's now scored in 7 of her last 8 games. And the USA lead in this She Believes Cup opener for the World Cup holders and the holders of this particular competition. Dare I say it, the goal came slightly against the run of play.
England had come out very well in the second half.
Look for Ellen White, it's a decent header on, scratched out by O'Hara, the clearance completed by Julie Ertz. 2016, the USA beat England with a goal by Crystal Dunn. The following year, Ellen White scored the winner very late on. Karen Bardsley own goal, won it for the USA in 2018. 2-2 it was last season. Ellen White scored one of her 4 goals in She Believes history. She's the top scorer in the competition's history. Steph Houghton got the other one.
It's just intelligent movement from those two for the goal, though, isn't it? Carly Lloyd drops out of that position straight away. Kristen Press is in there.
A little flip header on. Press. And again. Oh, lovely ball. Carly Lloyd. And that's what she does so supremely well. One of the greatest goal scorers the game has ever known. And she makes it 2-0 to the USA.
Just cannot give a player of her quality that much time and space. Again, you've got to close the initial ball down. It was too easy to find her. You can see it here as it comes through. Have to close down a little bit quicker. Jill Scott does her best, but you can't leave a play like that. Steph Houghton went out, no awareness. Both of them are together, Steph Houghton and Millie Bright, no awareness of that little run in behind by Carly Lloyd, but what a finish that is. Lovely little dink ball through from Haran, and it's exactly what you said. That's what Carly Lloyd does, get herself into that position. She's not going to miss from there.
I said earlier on, will the Olympics be her swan song in Japan? Should the tournament take place, as we all, of course, hope it will? I don't know, she's ageless. She's 37, as I said earlier. She scored more goals in her 30s than she did before. She just keeps rattling in. That's 10 in 11 internationals in 2019-20. And as Mark was saying, they don't really have a close season. You know, they were together for those 5 weeks building up to and including the Olympic qualifying, and throughout the autumn internationals as well. But here come England. Break out led by Stanway. Just delayed the pass perfectly for Nikita Paris to get in behind. Her touch was poor, the chance was gone. Smothered very well by Nissanaya, but it's a very good opportunity for England there.
It was. Like you say, it was just that touch that just took it away from her. Georgia Stanway does well, she draws. I thought she took too long. I thought she should have given it to Nikita Paris a little bit sooner. But she draws the defenders towards her, then plays the ball to Paris, and that first touch just allows the goalkeeper Naya to come out and smother the ball. So it's again another chance gone for England. Getting themselves into decent positions, but not quite finding that final pass or that final shot.
Football Writers Football of the Year of 2018 couldn't bring England back into the game. They did come out for the second half on the front foot, but the US team capable of just dealing savage blows. 58 internationals in a row they've scored in. Last time they scored was failed to score was July 2017 against Australia. goal. Christian Press, 53 minutes. Carly Lloyd with the second, 2 minutes later. It's 2-0 to the USA. I worry for England, they tend to go on and score more when they're in this position. They've scored 2 or more in 25 of their last 28 when they've gone unbeaten. Here's Scott. Paris. Very open the game has been throughout. Definitely a chip into the box by Williamson, and the white was offside. And what a bad substitute to bring on. Pino. Top scorer in the World Cup finals, Golden Boot, Golden Ball winner. FIFA Footballer of the Year, Ballon d'Or winner. She won virtually everything a footballer could win last season in the women's game. She was also Sports Illustrated Person of the Year. By Ertz. Nominated, Sue, for the Sports Illustrated Person of the Year?
Haven't, no.
No. Tells me by that one. But we are nominated for an RTS award for the semi-final of the Women's World Cup. That's, I think, Tuesday week, that's decided, so fingers crossed. Big swanky do. You going?
Not, no. You?
No. Probably a wise decision by the organisers, one would think. An hour played. What decision's up his sleeve? Does he bring Anthony England on? Does he bring young Kelly on now at 2-0 down with an hour play?
He does have options, and I suppose that's a real positive for Phil Neville now. He's got players that are challenging for the same positions, the likes of Beth England, the likes of Chloe Kelly, that are in fantastic form in the WSL. Also Jordan Nobbs adding a bit of energy in there in the middle of the park.
Steph Horton, the captain. Steinway. With the cross into the box, looking far post, over strap. Comes a change, and it is Kristen Press who goes off, and placing her from the bench will be the inimitable Megan Rapinoe. All smiles. What a lovely goal, didn't she? Slack play by England, but she took it so well. National icon, Megan Rapinoe. Forthright views, strong in her support of all sorts of oppression. Very much a leader. Wonderful footballer. She could have won more, you know. She missed the World Cup of 2007 and the Olympics of 2008 with cruciate knee ligament problems. I think she missed the Olympics in 2016 injured as well. Come through all that, be the player she is. Wonderful. Moran. To Lavelle, away by Millie Bright. He's strong at the back for England. The Chelsea defender. Now, O'Hara. Fenner definitely needs to change it. So they've gone fairly flat. Very sticky conditions in Orlando.
I think he has to change it in the midfield areas as well, where not picking up the second balls. Crosses are coming in, the defenders are maybe getting ahead to it, but then the US are then picking up that second ball and keeping on that pressure.
Spent a lot of time in Orlando in World Cup '94 when Ireland were based here, and conditions sultry, very difficult to play football, and some of those afternoon kickoffs were intolerable really for the Irish and the Dutch. I seem to remember the Mexicans were in the same group. Might be wrong on that one. So certainly the Dutch were here. Great entertainment. They were in a place called Church Street Station. You will know that from your time in Orlando on holidays. Here's Lavelle with a lovely ball, attempted but too far ahead of Megan Rapinoe. An old railway station, that is, sir, in the middle of Orlando. Lots of stories there. There's Jordan Nobbs. Are you surprised that she wasn't in the starting three in midfield? Who would you have replaced, actually? Who would you have not had in there for her then?
See, that's a tough call. I'm surprised that she wasn't in there, because she would certainly be in my starting 11. I think England miss Jordan Nobbs when she's not there. I felt we missed her at the World Cup. It's great to have her back. It's great to have her now fully fit, because it does take time to come back from a long-term injury. She's built her way back, fitness-wise, and touches on the ball, and I think it's we just need her now at this moment in time. We'll see that energy that she provides in the middle of the park.
24 games for Arsenal this season, along with her 4 internationals. A couple of starts for England. The first since November 2018 because of that injury. She replaces Jill Scott. Straight into the action. Talk about leaders. She's a definite leader, isn't she?
That's another thing, straight away wanting to get a first touch on the ball, just buzzing around in there.
Paris. Very likeable is Jordan Nobbs, who was part of our commentary team in the World Cup last summer. No airs and graces. Very much part of the team, and got on with it, and really good company. Brought up in football, of course. Her dad Keith was a fearsome centre-back in his day. He told the story once before in a commentary. Lost 6 teeth playing for Hartlepool against Darlington, did Big Keith. Did he go off? Carried on. That's good play. Lauren Hemp going up through the gears. 2 chasing her. Lavelle got back at her. Did she time the tackle well? Referee says yes, it's a corner kick. She had a good turn of pace there, did Rose Lavelle, to get back to the England flyer.
That's good from Lauren Hemp. Just driving at the defenders, making them have to make a decision.
She's only 19. Phil Neville was saying to me in the build-up to this that they've got such promise, these England youngsters, but they're not the finished product by a long way. And she's going to be around, what, for 10 years at major tournaments. Stanway's 21. Jill Scott still playing major tournaments at 33. She's got a long career ahead of her at this level. In comes the corner. It's not a bad one at all. Seen it away by Becky Sauerbrunn. And if the US are to look at this tournament and say, well, will the veterans do well for us in Japan and the Olympics? Can they get another gold? Certainly I think Sauerbrunn will, and Carly Lloyd. So, as if she'll score goals from her own day. Greenwood. A little push. Millie Bright, I think it was, on Julia Ertz.
It's better though, mixing the set piece up, just changing the angle slightly, and meant that Steph Houghton was free at the far post, but that little push in the middle
once or twice in the game as the US prepare to make 2 more substitutes. Goodness me, these aren't bad substitutes to bring on either, especially Sam Lewis, who had a very good World Cup. They chunt her a little bit, the US players. They moan at opposition, they moan at referees, more than I think any other country does in the women's game. But is that a sign of how determined, how driven they are? Don't know, I'll ask you on that in a moment here, Sue, because here's Rapinoe. And Heath deflected away wide. What do you think? Are they arrogant, or are they just really driven?
I think if they are arrogant, they can be, because of everything that they've won. I would say it's more of a confidence in their ability. They're just ruthless. Their mentality is just, we win every single game, and they believe that they're going to win every single game.
Well, Muse will come on for Laval, and wearing 13 for the USA is the player Jan Sanderson was talking about back in the studio, Lynn Williams. This is her 26th game for the USA. She did well in the Olympic qualifying. She scored in the final against Canada. She got 3 goals in that tournament. And she comes on for Tobin Heath. Centre forward who can play wide. I think she's the 2nd highest scorer in the Women's Soccer League in the USA, behind Sam Kerr. Samantha Mewis, that's the other substitution. There's the near post, and that's in there.
I like her. Going back to Lynn Williams, I think she's completely different to Carly Lloyd in the way that she plays. She's a natural finisher, but she's so aggressive when she presses the ball.
20 minutes to go. An angle on the face there of Lindsay Horan. She shot wide. And Tony Duggan comes on. We've been talking about the younger England players. We've not really mentioned Tony. She comes on for Stanway. Only a 2nd international of the season. She's missed the last 4 since the game in Norway in September. Had fitness problems, but she's back in the Atletico Madrid side. 2nd in the league in Spain, and they've got the Champions League quarter-final against Barcelona to come. And she was unfit going into the... She never fit in the World Cup finals in the summer. I felt so sorry for her. She was so determined to do so well, and must have been heartbreaking. At the moment it's all the USA. And Lloyd, brilliant turn.
When she gets on the ball, she's just got one thing in her mind: can strike with her left foot, can strike with her right foot. Such quality, but just gets underneath that one a little bit.
Only player to have played in 4 Olympic qualifying campaigns now. So Carly Lloyd. She's not missed a game in the She Believes Cup over the years. But tonight was her first goal in it. Here's Nikita Pastry. Needs something and quickly. Knocks to Williamson.
I was wondering where Tony Duggan was actually going to go, if she was going to go out wide or she was going to play in that central position and just be like-for-like swap for Georgia Stanway, and that's actually where she has gone. So I know Nikita Paris played central, didn't she, when England played USA in the semi-final. Tony's very capable in there.
Really right, a little bit too tight on Carly Lloyd. A little spell at Manchester City. The cup there with them. Had back to her best, Millie Bright, would you say, or near her best?
Yeah, definitely. I think she's been excellent again in the Women's Super League. She's been solid and exactly how we expect Millie Bright to be. Really puts her body on the line.
That's a good run by Mewis. Rapinoe, oh, low and fizzing, but from an offside position. She's saying she needed the ball out earlier.
Because she'd made that run. Just the extra touch. She wanted it. You can see she's waiting, she's waiting.
Alex Greenwood was a little bit more aware there, I think, for one of the goals. She stepped back in for the Lloyd goal, isn't it? Here's Carly Lloyd again. Duran. Wide to Rapinoe. Orange waiting for on the edge of the penalty area, but Rapinoe keeping possession. Particularly well, Williamson. It's a very poor ball. Lewis. Handball there.
Ball from Hemp. It's away from her body.
I'm sure the whole handball law will be reviewed in the summer. Talking about it perhaps in time for the European Championships, I think that would be wrong. Putting it in pre-season friendlies. Otherwise it's going to be chaos. Now what's going to happen inside that penalty area? Calm or chaos by England. Quarter of an hour to go, 2-0 down. And still in the game just about. USA could finish him off here. Disgruntled faces back there for him. Rapinoe to the left-hand side of it. To the right, it's Rapinoe. Perspective.
Yeah, I was going to say, you expect so much more from a player of her quality. She knows it herself. You can see in her face.
She's been prepared to be a bit different. I remember when the in World Cup 2011, when she's son born in the USA, didn't she? She scored against Colombia. I can't remember the situation, but I remember people being startled that she sung. Here's Lloyd. There is by England. Followed up by Julia. It's arriving in the box, and wide it goes.
That was the pressing, that was meaning from Williams. She isn't central, she is on the right-hand side, but such a willing runner, wins the ball high up the field and really puts the US on the front foot.
This is his 8th game in charge for Ratko Andonovski. 100% record so far. Lots of enthusiasm in this stadium. Orlando City are based here in the men's game. Orlando Pride in the women's league. Jimmy Nobbs, tidy ball around the corner. Paris, Crystal Gunn, nagging away there. Williamson comfortable enough. It's a foul by Mewis. So forceful and strong is Samantha Mewis from Massachusetts. Here comes Ellen White for England, and on comes Beth England. You're a big fan, Sue.
Yeah, I really am. She's been excellent this season, and You just think, give her an opportunity, she'll take it.
Here's a chance for the USA offside. What a finish that is, by the way. Julie Ertz. Great to see the smile, isn't it? Wonderful finish.
That's a great finish. I wasn't sure she was offside, but you can see, ooh, she is, isn't she? She's a step ahead of Steph Houghton. But what a finish that is.
What a ball by Carly Lloyd.
Just great awareness from her.
And it would have been a cracking way to celebrate 100 games for your country. Ooh, goalkeeper had to react smartly there. It's a net. England only a 6th international for her country. Ahead of Jodie Taylor in the pecking order now, it would seem, for England, although will insists the door isn't shut. For example, he's desperate for Fran Kirby to get everything fit and well and get back into the England reckoning. There's what a difference she can make. Here's Jordan Nobbs. She's made a difference since coming on.
She really has. Just a willing runner. She's seen that Nikita Paris had come out of that space out wide. She was the one that was running into the channel. Won a team a corner.
Ring will take it. The goal here could change a lot. Just over 10 minutes to go. And 2 behind. 2 goals in 2 minutes there, undoing against the world champions. Bad delivery in. That's knocked a goalkeeper out, and it's cleared away by Abby Dahlkamper. They've got such blistering pace on the break. Williams off the bench now, and up there in support was Mewis. Quick pressure. USA pressing as they have been throughout the game there to stop him getting away. Walsh, Harris, beyond done, no mean feat that. Jordan Holtz with the crossing. I think they pulled it down.
Good play again on this right-hand side. Nikita Paris, it's a great battle between her and Crystal Dunn. Picks out Jordan Nobbs, who then picks out Beth England. Good first touch, but maybe not second touch.
She's in great goal-scoring form. We've talked about that all night on the programme. Do you think one of the main reasons, again, beyond Ellen's experience in this competition and the fact that she's unnerved the USA many times in the past, is the fact that they are different players and that Ellen White would pressure the USA, not let them get out. Mind you, Beth England's just doing that there and then. But do you think that's one of the reasons maybe why Ellen started?
I just think because she's tried and tested, isn't she, at this level. We know what she can do. I think Beth England's still trying to do that. Beth will press.
And you were talking about Ellen's combination with Georgia Stanway. A lot of that happened off the ball, didn't it, in the first half?
I thought they were excellent how they did that. You don't always see that. You see what they do on the ball, but the way they were just trying to stop Julie Ertz from getting on the ball, knowing that she's so vital, but then one of them was trying to press the centre half at the same time. It's clearly been worked on in training.
With the throw. Mewis with the cross in. There by Houghton. The pressure on Lloyd. And Rapinoe with a shot that curled wide. Great start this for the USA, whose next game in this competition comes against Spain. Winners against Japan earlier on tonight. So it's a game you can see on the red button on the iPlayer. England's next game is against Japan. And that's on Sunday at 5:50 on BBC Two. And USA again. Rapinoe. His game against Spain Wednesday, 9 o'clock on 4. Again, Rapinoe twisting and turning. Squeezed away at the back by Steph Horton. Dunn slips away from Paris. She hasn't often been in that sort of offensive position because Nikita Paris, by and large, has done a good job negating her. It means that Nikita Paris probably hasn't been the offensive player she'd want to be, but she's just done the best attacking left back in the world, I should think.
Yeah, one of them, because when you look at both Nikita Paris and Hemp on the other side, they've had to get back, they've had to defend, because America's fullbacks like to get forward at every opportunity. But then you also want them to be your outlet. I just don't think England have switched the play probably enough times when they've done it, when they've got USA on this left-hand side into Kira Walsh and out onto the right-hand side. That's when they've seen joy. Maybe just not enough times as that happened.
She's got something in common with you, Crystal Dunn, you know. She's the best dancer and singer in the US team, like you are in our BBC commentary team, or can you not remember that night? Best forgotten.
She said it definitely wasn't me if I was singing and dancing.
Is Lloyd. She had to slip it in to Rapinoe's run into the penalty area. Clever run by Megan Rapinoe and a very cute pass again by Carly Lloyd. She rolled back the ears tonight. And she's looking for this at the far post. Why? And England watching her there, you can just see maybe the advancing as she couldn't get off the ground. It was too high for her anyway, but I think she's been super tonight, do you?
Yeah, she really has. It's just how intelligent she is with her movement. Makes space for other players and also for herself, and then just the quality when she gets on the ball. Because at times I think both teams have lacked a little bit of quality in the final third, but she hasn't.
Free kick for England. Seated by Williams. A little bit of a limp for Steph Horton. Just to mention once again, you'll see it coming up on the website for the Derby Rimmer MND Foundation. In a couple of, it might be up there now, I should just check it. Karen Carney and Stephen Warnock running for them in the London Marathon to raise money for the foundation for Steph's husband. Really great cause, and well done those two. And in the commentary box here, put your hand up, please run the London Marathon. Just me then. See you passing me down the mile, Miss Smith. No. 35,000 other people did, many years in a row. Looped up looking for Nikita Paris, and Crystal Dunn is there. Lewis. Again, the strength in the squad if you can bring Samantha Mewis into the side. They are world champions for a reason. Williams out to stretch. So we've got 4 minutes to go. Let's talk positives for England, Sue.
I think first half, the fact that they went in at half-time 0-0. Thought they defended set pieces very well in that first half, created a couple of opportunities, but it's just about being clinical, isn't it, when you're playing against a side like USA with so much quality. You have to take your chances, and you can't give them the time and space that England give them, particularly for the goals. You make a mistake and they punish you.
Near post flick on, they couldn't convert in the middle in the first half, and then Nikita Paris is one-on-one, saved by the keeper in the second. They have made chances. I think Phil Neville down there at the bottom of the picture will say, look, we were undone in 2 minutes.
Yeah. You're missing Lucy Bronze, missing Beth Mead, Frank Kirby. You know, they're three important players.
But his selection will be questioned. He knows that, and he knows the pressure of being England coach. There's Williamson. I wonder how much his selection tonight was to win the second game. Because Japan aren't the team we thought they would be coming here. I think the coaches have realised that as well. I think he was determined to beat the Japanese and beat the Spanish and go home with 6 points. Is that a reasonable argument, or do you think he should have put out his a stronger team tonight? What do you think, too?
I think he's put out the team that he thought was going to win this game, or at least challenge for this game. But of course, you look at the second 2 games, and they are must-wins.
Here comes a substitution for England. And it is going to be Chloe Kelly. A wonderful moment for her, this will be. England debut. Probably for Nikita Paris, yes it is. And also Carly Lloyd going off for the USA. And on comes McDonald, who we saw in the World Cup finals. Jess McDonald, as Leanne was saying, I think at half-time she was talking about her great pace. Nikita Paris does depart. On comes Chloe Kelly, 18, Everton youngster, 9 goals this season for them. Part of the under-20 side that finished 3rd in the Junior World Cup. Quite a few of them are coming through from that side now. Second game for England, isn't it? She had a little roll against Austria the other year. Dunn clears. Walsh tries to poke it through. That's with the block. And then pick it up again. Jordan Knox to Williamson. Less than 30 seconds to play. It's a tad of stoppage time. Duncan tried to force it through. Whistledown was trying to shield it out of play and then got it just a touch on it, so she had to play it, turn and get it away. Real strength there for Millie Bright, but the USA could break off that. Here's Ertz. McDonald. Williams is in the middle. Ertz will settle for that. Powerful player is Jess McDonald. She's in her 30s now. She's only played 45 minutes of competitive football until the Olympic qualifiers last month, when she scored 2 goals. She's been around the squad for 4 years. Her son, Jeremiah, I think his name is. Oh, that's brilliant. Hard into the penalty area, across the far stick, and it's again defended well for England.
Clever play here, isn't it? Just knock it one way and go the other. And then you get your head up and find a pass. Millie Bright does so well. Gets up and challenges.
And all the stars around O'Hara goes under the radar a little bit. 130 internationals, 2 World Cups, Olympic gold. In every She Believes Cup tournament there is, there has been. Horan. Lindsay Horan. McDonald. Williams is in the middle. Albina making a run. Bright got it away, and he tries Sam Mewis. Negatives for you for England, Sue, in these closing stages now?
I think just what I said before, the clinical finishing, that final ball into the box, and defensively, you can't give a side like USA so much time and space when they get into good positions. I think they'll learn from this.
Kelly, good challenge on it. And Sabram.
Particularly those young players or inexperienced players. Valuable game time against a top quality side.
643 minutes without a goal conceded now, the USA. And that'll be uppermost in their minds. Ruthlessly professional. Williamson. And the USA starts with a victory against England, a repeat of their World Cup semi-final success. And he has had a magnificent start to his career as a USA coach. Vlatko Andonovski makes it 8 wins from 8. And disappointment for